that? One scene. Actually, it's going to be super easy, barely inconvenience. Welcome back to the Small Zero YouTube channel. I'm your host, Matt Wyatt. It's an honor and privilege for you to join us on this live. We're going to be talking about anyway, we're going to be talking about everything in the world of movies and TVs, and we're going to cover the Spider-Man Noir trailer, Alien Isolation 2, and Jackass Best and Last trailer. So joining me as my guest is Ryan Cam. How you doing, man?
Good. And you all can't see my lower third, but my lower third, and trust me on this, it says save your game, because when you play Alien Isolation 2, you're going to need to save your game a lot and often, because you're going to die a lot and often, but we'll get to that.
And joining me and my other co-host is 3D Jake. How about you? How are you doing, man?
You forget the freaking monologue.
I was hearing echo on my end, and I was like, what the hell? Are we having technical problems? You didn't hear any echo, so yeah, it might have been my tab that was open, and I was like, oh, I fucked that part up. That was my bad on my part.
You were like silent for a second.
I know. I was like, wait, hold on. I was here. I could have sworn I was fucking hearing echo, and the Google tab was open. I was like, oh god, I left it open. I'm such an idiot.
But yeah, I'm fine. I am excited to talk about Alien Isolation 2. Which we'll talk about that, but I'm just gonna quick rundown. I'm excited for this game. I was playing it last night, the original game, because I somehow deleted all my progress, so I'm replaying the game over and just exploring the game. And yeah, it sucks when you die, because you have to you die, and then you have to go all the way fucking back to your save point. When I'm just like, I hope to God they fix that, because I hate more than anything when I die, and then it's like, okay, I'm like 2 floors up now, and I have to. And I'm just like, oh, you game, But yeah, I'm enjoying it though, replaying it and everything. And I'm excited to talk about this and lots of other topics and everything. And we were gonna have Robbie Reed join us today as a panel, but he had like a health emergency come up and he couldn't make it. So we said, you know what, it's fine. I said he's gonna come in 2 weeks and do this with us. When Ryan's not here. It was not Ryan related. Trust me, it wasn't like he saw Ryan and was like, I can't make it. Ryan's here. I was like, no, it's not Ryan at all. But he'll join us in 2 weeks, and we'll talk all stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited to talk about the weekend box office, and let's go.
Yeah, and as I said before, sorry for that one, because I thought I was hearing echo and it was a Google tab. I fucked up. That was my fault. But anyway, we're gonna get into the weekend box office of number. And it comes to be, and here's the Michael bows to 217 million global. Mario surpasses 800 million, and Project Hail Mary rockets past 600 million at the box office. So apparently, it opened very strong on the movie Michael, and I have not yet to see it in theaters yet. But right now, it tracks very well. And I which one did it open like 75 million on opening, or maybe 97? I can't tell which one that opens.
I heard it's very
7 million in North America is what I am reading. 120.4 million from 82 international markets. So if I do a quick bit of math, 120.4 plus.
That's just globally. So it made like 97 domestic, and then it made like choose something overseas.
Yeah, it made 97 domestic, and then 75 million and 97 million in North America. Yeah. 75 in domestic.
Well, that's a pretty good opening, especially for a movie that's about to come like in April. At the end of April, that's a pretty good opening.
Well, couple things. Number one, be sure and go and watch last week's episode. We had Jeff Snyder on, and in that, importantly, other than that we had Jeff on, we also had the fantasy summer box office pool where we made our predictions. So be on the lookout for that. And Jake's giving me the look of, I was going to bring that up, but I beat you to it. Because
No, I was thinking, I thought you were going to rub my face, be like, oh, and the Devil Wears Prada comes out this weekend. And guess what? This asshole bet on it. So let's see if he's wrong this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Drops tomorrow. Let's see if he's wrong on that.
I'll be honest, I didn't think about that, but now that I have, here's Collins when you find out that Devil Wears Prada 2 is going to underperform.
I bet not.
Fuck. Oh, that's way worse.
Which Jeff bet against me too. You and Jeff both bet against me. So basically, one of you are going to be right next week.
I still strongly believe it's going to open very strong on opening weekend for sure.
Well,
for Devil Wears Prada 2. You're really underestimating the hype of that movie.
I know. Right, Matt's on my side on this. Matt
I had to be on Jake's side on this because you're really are underestimating it, and it's actually getting decent reviews for critics. It's sitting at 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's tracking. Yeah, the reviews have dropped. Yeah, the review embargo dropped. And right now the projection is opening very well. It's tracking well at the box office right now.
I gotta check my score real quick and see what I bet. I think I bet 70. If I bet 70, I win the score.
I guess now coming back to this week, Michael opening to this number is the least surprising news of all time to me. If you know Michael Jackson fans, you know they were going to show up for this, and show up they did. It's like my Instagram feed has been just filled with people like going to the movie, making edits of the movie. There's one guy who was dancing along to the movie. There was one girl that was carried out like one of the classic Michael Jackson concerts. So this is the least surprising news of all time for me.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to be the Jackson fan.
I heard the stories of it. And I heard that if it's a very touching story too.
I haven't been hearing that it's a fun tribute to Michael's music, but I've heard that the story's not strong, that it could have been more. For what I've heard, but I have not seen the movie. Yeah. I'm probably might see this movie around this weekend. Well, I still want to check it out.
Matt, maybe it's because you're just out of touch with this movie.
How am I out of touch with this movie? What are you talking about?
Collins, don't explain it. Don't explain it. Just let it go. Leave it live.
The allegation of Michael Jackson out of touch, touching.
Leave it live.
I know. Yeah, and also, I know I'm not out of touch with this movie. I'm very well aware of the situation. They've cut out a lot of the portions of that film of the controversy going on, the lawsuit. They cut a lot of that stuff out.
I don't want this to turn to a full-flown review, but here it goes. The movie only covers about the mid-'70s up to the mid-'80s, with a brief little thing at the end in '88. So it doesn't touch on that in this movie. Now, will they do it? It seemed to tease another one. Will they do it? Maybe. But as it sits now, like people spurging out over they didn't acknowledge it because in that movie's canon, it didn't happen yet. So this movie made all the money. I imagine they're going to do another one with like it would probably be cool if they did like this is called Michael. The next one just be called Jackson.
Well, I've heard they're going to actually do another one. I've heard that they're already going to do another one because they've already shot portions of that film. Yeah. So they split into two movies, so it makes sense.
Point is, context is important with stuff like this.
By the way, I checked the Rotten Tomato score and I checked my score. I bet the Rotten Tomato score would be 80% for the Devil Wears Prada. It's 75, and I'm like, fuck. That was 5% off.
But you got to understand, the reviews will still come in by the end of the week, and it can still go up or it can still go down. It's not like the official number yet. It's so far.
I was like, I'm hoping it goes up because I want to get in the 80s. As long as I get in the 80s, I'm fine. If I get under 80, I'm fine. I was like, damn. But Michael Jackson, here's the thing. Regardless of all the stuff, there's some people that Jeff brought up last week. There's people that are upset because it's not pedophile-ish enough. I'm like, which Jeff's like, why the fuck are people getting mad about that? Like, don't you when you watch a movie, don't you want to watch a movie that actually uplifts the character, not just down? It's not like you're watching a Harvey Weinstein movie. You're watching a movie about the King of Pop. You want to hear the King of Pop songs. You want to hear, he did. There's some shit that he's accused of, but guess what? That's not the story they're trying to tell at this particular point in his life. They're trying to tell the stuff when he was black, that all the cool stuff he was doing and stuff like Beat It, Billie Jean,
Yeah, the
Thriller.
Jackson 5 and doing his solo artist. They wanted to put out the movie that inspired a lot of people and then changed the world for pop culture for the music itself.
Yeah,
I
which
will
I
say
would say,
Michael Jackson's music is a lot deeper than you might think. Like he's got a lot of like stuff like Jam and Tabloid Junkie and Leave Me Alone and like Black or White. So like he's got tons of like deep cuts that are really good. So
what my favorite song is "Beat It." I just think "Beat It" is such a good song, and it's basically about street violence. It's they saying that we should not be two gangs against each other. We should just doesn't matter whether you're black or white, just beat it. Like beat it. I think that right there works so well that song, and I love it. And I mean, yeah. Which honestly, I mean, my favorite song, yeah, which I know everybody loves Thriller, which I love Thriller too, and I actually did listen to "Beat It" the other day, and I'm like, look, I don't care whether people like him or not. He makes great music. Also, what did The Mummy do this weekend? Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Was that like how bad was that? I'm sure like it got pumped.
It only got it's still in the top 3. It's right now Michael's sitting at number 1, that's no surprise. Super Mario Galaxy is in number 2. Project Hail Mary's at number 3. Lee Cronin's The Mummy is at number 4, and it only made 5.5 million.
but it's profitable now, and that's ultimately what they're going to
Right now it only made 69 million worldwide for the Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy 2 coming to a theater not near you. I will say this though, yeah. But yeah, like wrapping up the box office talk, I will say this: I do think Michael could possibly. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion, but I do think it's going to at least make in the 700s.
Yeah, and especially when The Devil Wears Prada 2 is going to be opened up against Michael,
Yeah,
which
so
more people are going to go off to see this more than Michael.
Wouldn't it make more sense to open it up like 2 weeks early? That way you can.
Yeah, I think they were so highly confident that this movie was going to be highly successful because the hype was there, and they thought they were actually going to out gross The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yeah,
I'll go on record. I'll go on record to say that if this doesn't make $1 billion, then I will be very surprised.
They should have done a double feature, open on May 1st, and be like Michael Wears Product.
That has a ring to it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Devil Wears Michael. Better than The Devil Wears Michael.
But anyway, what did you think about this box office results? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, moving on to the next, the main topic. We want to talk about the Alien Isolation, the game that got announced. And normally it's not something we always cover for games, but when it comes to Alien Isolation, it's part of the canon to the movies and the whole Alien universe. And they recently announced that they're going to do an Alien Isolation 2. So publisher Sega and developer Creative Assembly have revealed that it appears to be a teaser trailer for Alien Isolation 2. A mysterious video titled "A False Sense of Security" was posted by the franchise's official YouTube account today, April 26th, which also happens to be Alien Day. It's a little more than an atmospheric teaser that features a rainy outdoor location in the familiar emergency phone safe station. The teaser trailer doesn't outright confirm that is for the long-awaited Isolated 2, but given that Creative Assembly announced it was working on a follow-up back in late 2024, fans are already expecting an impending announcement. The only text included in the video's description says, "A feeling of being safer than one really is." Despite earning a strong fan base in the decade following its release, Creative Assembly and Sega refrained from making an official announcement about a sequel until the 10th anniversary of its launch in 2024. Little information about Alien Isolation 2 was shared at the time with the team, which includes original creative director Al Hope, mostly telling players to expect more information when it's ready. Today, I'm delightful to confirm on behalf of the team that a sequel to Alien Isolation is in early development, Creative Assembly said at the time. We look forward to sharing more details with you when we're ready. This one, personally, I've only played a little bit of the first game, and I thought it was really good, but then my biggest complaint is that there was no checkpoint in that game, which you guys brought it up earlier in the show, and it was very frustrating. And I hope that they one day do to remaster it. And I fell off of it a little bit because I didn't play it that far, but it was an interesting idea to show the character's perspective of Ripley's daughter. That fills in the gaps of the timeline between Alien and Aliens, which I had no idea until I played that game. I was like, wow, that's her daughter in the game? Which the character died in Aliens in the director's cut of the film at a very old age. And to see them to do an Isolation 2 was very surprising, but they haven't shown any gameplay. Right now, they're still in the early process, and they'll let us know when it's ready. But anyway, I want to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about this news?
So I'm very happy about this news. Alien Isolation is one of the most beautifully frustrating games I've ever played. It looks amazing. It's just an awesome stealth horror game. Like, I hate the fact that you like step on a crack, like that xenomorph drops on you and you're dead, or you like fart in the general direction of one of those androids and all of a sudden you're dead again. Like, you die 20 times in 10 minutes and just play the Ric Flair clip.
Oh.
What? What on God's great earth?
That's how I feel.
Yeah. So, but that one also applies. But yeah, this news is very good news for me. So, what they're going to do story-wise, but they've been waiting this long for a reason, and I'd prefer video games take their time rather than rush stuff out and have it just be a massive disappointment. I'm thinking of Fallout for some reason, and I can't imagine why.
Jake, what do you think about this news?
Okay, first off, I'm a massive Alien Isolation fan. I remember getting this for my birthday, Christmas of 2014. And I remember playing this game, the hell out of this game, and it angered me so much to where my buddy Dustin, he had, was a high school friend, girlfriend growing up. He literally he had to beat some levels for me just so we could play it because I got angry. And then I remember just buying it like in the last couple of years on like the PlayStation 4. Just so that way I could play it because it came with all the DLCs in a bundle. And I remember now because I always wanted to play the bundle, the Crew Expandable with Sigourney Weaver, because Sigourney Weaver and the entire cast reprised their roles from the movies, in the game, And so I thought that was always great. Like the best opening for this game is what you hear Sigourney Weaver's narration, from the ending of Alien. I thought that was great. And I always liked that Sigourney Weaver has always been like a supporter of the franchise, even though she doesn't want to do anymore. I love this game. I like that it's a sandbox horror game where you're basically hiding around from like the alien. You're on this giant ship. You can go back and forth, go to levels, get a flamethrower. You can't kill the alien. You can only, and it pisses me off though because there's levels where the alarms are going off. You have to go under these tunnel crates, and then all of a sudden you can't sneak by it, and the alien just goes, and I'm like, "Fuck you, fucker!" I was like, "Fuck you, alien." And yeah, I'm really excited. And
you launch a good burp, and they're like the xenomorphs right there, and you have to start all over again.
Or you don't even hear it. You just like all of a sudden you just see the doors open. It's like right there, and then it goes, and I'm like, oh fuck!
Like, what did I do? What did I do wrong?
I didn't know it was right there, and it's like. Yeah, I get a
friend Arnold from Total Recall. What the fuck did I do wrong? Tell me.
What the fuck did I do wrong? Tell me.
And I hate the crafting. I hate crafting more than anything. It's like I hate the crafting in this game. But I've been replaying it just for ever since the announcement, and I've been having a blast with it. Although I got killed, and then I just did I'm not gonna go back. I have to go. I'm like 2 levels up. I have to come back down. I'm like I'll wait. But yeah, I'm enjoying the game. My only issue is that I wish they had the checkpoints, which I understand. The whole reason why this game was even announced because it was, because when it came out, the game flopped, okay? Because everybody was mad at the Alien franchise because Colonial Marines, everybody hated. And then mixed reviews was on Aliens versus Predators. And at that point, people were excited for Alien Colonial Marines. And then it was just like a fart in the wind. And then by the time they got to Alien Isolation, they're like, "Oh, it's another Sega game. It's another crash and burn game. We're not gonna want this game." And then people play it, goes, "Oh my god, it's actually good." And
dude. The Colonial Marines, the better one was the arcade version at the arcade that you go in public places. That's more fun.
Yeah, I own Colonial Marines on the 360, and I remember I begged my mother to take for my birthday that I wanted that in Star Trek 2009 the game. And I remember getting those games, and I'm like, Alien Colonial Marines was the better game, but I was like, they're both bad games. I mean,
rough birthday for you.
But I remember like my mom, because I was not old enough to go to. She took me to GameStop and said, "What 2 games do you want?" This is the Ackman games. I think were like $40 a pop or $60 a pop, and she got both those games for me. And I'm like, I can't wait to play Colonial Marines. I played. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, the game was so bad. I'm like, this is a bad game, but like it's just basically just a generic shooter. I'm excited though. It seems like from what I understand, all the scoopers are saying this game is early in development, so it won't probably be out till 2027 or 28 at earliest.
My best is it's going to be in either 2028 or 2029. They're still in early development. They haven't made the game yet, so it could take it at least a few years for this game to get made.
I'm willing to bet by next Alien Day we'll probably hear something, or by the Game Awards we'll probably have like a trailer. You know,
I completely agree with you. I definitely believe that they will probably announce a teaser and put it out in front of the VGA.
It seems like they're trying to. This is what the original idea was, though. They said the plan was originally, if they thought the game was going to do well, was they said the first game is Alien, the second game is Aliens, where it's going to be like on the planet.
Right, hit is that I hate when they announce games and they haven't even start making it and they're still in the early process, because just because you're in the early process, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to move forward with this. Something.
Remember Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I remember.
Where's Knights of the Old Republic remake?
They're changing up the Old Republic game too. They're changing that up, and we were also supposed to get the High Republic game. That's going to get shelved.
Where's Last Ronin?
But also, what else I'm trying to think. If you're going to announce something when it's already been in the process of, or that you're already making it and you're not fully finished yet. Like the gameplay, you're in the middle of a gameplay and you're already making it that we know for sure that it's coming. Don't announce something that it's in development when you don't even know for sure that this is going to get made for
Grand Theft Auto 6 would like to have a word with you.
Well, they're far into making that game, so they're just still delaying it because they really want to perfect that game so much. That's not like GTA 6. They've already made the game. They're just still making some patches in here and there.
Which I just want a game that's good. I don't care if it takes 5 years to make. Just as long as it's good when it comes out and it doesn't have like microtransaction out of the ass. Like, for instance, Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Well, to be fair, with Isolation, it's a story-driven game. So there's not going to be any microtransaction. It's not like you're going to be playing an online multiplayer game.
Like Alien Fireteam.
Like that, yeah, pretty much. But anyway, what did you think about this announcement? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, on to the next main topic. I want to cover the Jackass 5 trailer, Best and Last. So my thoughts on that trailer, I thought it was funny. It definitely felt like they were paying a lot of tribute to the previous Jackass movies because it's a culmination and it's the last one that they're ever going to make, and they are bringing back the OG cast, but also bringing in the new cast that were in Jackass Forever, which I thought was fun. And they used a lot of these stock footage of their stunts, and there's going to be a lot of scenes in Jackass number 5 that weren't in the previous Jackasses. So they'll probably use a lot of the stock footage that they haven't used, some unused footage, but also adding something new. And also the robot is going to be a part of this. Remember that in the trailer when he just hit Johnny Knoxville in the balls? It's like, oh god, now they really are stepping up. And one of their cast members is going to get fucking and one of the cast members is going to get electrocuted, high voltage. Like you're about to be executed in the prison scene. I was like, damn, dude, they're really going a lot far. Then I explained,
apparently
very
it's an
extreme.
escape room. It's like a torture escape room, like
a torture escape room. I remember they did that escape room in the last film, but that made me fucking die laughing. I was laughing so hard in the theater. They shut that fucking door and they shut it in then pitch black. Like, what the fuck, you fucking assholes?
I like the new cast. The Poopsies was an amazing addition to the cast. Like I said, I'm excited to see like what's going to happen. I mean, I'm really glad that which from what I understand, didn't they? From what I understand, like I said, they said this is going to be like 40% of it's going to be new footage, but 60% is going to be recycled footage.
Yeah,
that's from what I understand.
Yeah, that was confirmed that you're going to see.
It's like I don't want to just watch it extended because we have like the director's cuts of the Jackass.
But to be fair, most of the original cast members don't want to keep doing new stunts because they're at a point where they can't do it anymore. And they don't want to do it, so they figured, like, hey, let's use a lot of these unused footage that we didn't put out yet.
I just want to see new cast members do stupid shit. I mean, like, let the new cast members and just let Johnny Knoxville appear You just let them be like, okay, well, we'll do 3.
I mean, the new cast members, they're okay, but they weren't like the heart of the Jackass of this whole franchise. The OG were the ones that really are the stars of it.
Like, I want to just see somebody get hit in the balls. I want to see somebody get tortured for.
There's going to be a lot of ball shots. We've seen a lot of ball shots.
I want to see someone shitting. I don't want to see someone's dick getting bit off or somebody getting a snake on their dick. I don't want to see that. Or
that's inevitable. That is inevitable, dude.
Well,
but anyway, Ryan, what did you think of this trailer?
It's good. Like, I watched Jackass forever in theaters, and I can't remember when I've laughed that hard at a comedy movie in a very long time. Comedies are a bit of a hard sell for me, but that one I was like in tears, like 30 minutes in. This trailer's fine. I feel like this is kind of a clip show, but I get the understanding of why, because, like, you guys got to remember, some of these guys are in their 50s. Like, Steve-O is like a podcaster now, and God bless him. I mean, like, it's much better on his body to just sitting there and talking than, understanding the multiple uses of this finger. If you know, you know. So I'm kind of glad. I was assuming 4 was going to be the last one. Clearly, there's enough in the tank to do another one. Again, I don't like the clip show vibes, but I will go and see it.
You want to hear the crazy part? This was not like this was announced and shot this year. Like January is when they started shooting this thing of this year.
I mean, I'm sure the filming process was not that complicated. Be like, okay, Steve-O's gonna kick where? All right, cut, print, next one.
Okay, so basically, Dave England's got diarrhea again. Okay, and he's gonna go shit his pants somewhere. Okay, as long as we can see this shit. Okay, yeah, then that's all we need. Okay, all right, Dave, shit. All right, we got it. It's like
or get some. You would give some people to do some nut shots many fucking ways. Remember that in Forever? How many times he got hit in the nutsack? I can't remember what the one of the cast members' name, but he had the fucking worst of a nut shot of all time. The nut cuts didn't do shit.
Okay.
Man is being stuffed where?
Okay. So basically, Bam's gonna get his dick tattoo on his ass. Okay.
And you're probably going to see a couple of scenes with Bam, but he's not like the main of the cast. So
he did shoot some stuff. He did shoot some stuff for the last movie, but because him and Johnny Knoxville had a fallen out, they removed him.
They had a fallen out. He was from that entire film. He was only in one scene. Basically made a cameo.
The drummer when they're on the treadmill, then they all fall. He's like,
when they were the marching band and they're on the fucking treadmill and they fell, and Johnny Knoxville got fucking blood in the head. His head was bleeding. I was like, God damn, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, and also because there's only so far you can do. I mean, how many times that Johnny Knoxville had a head injury when he was doing this?
His eyeball fell out. He said one time.
Yeah, his eyeball fell out one time. I mean, how many times he's been in the hospital? So many times. Like, you can only do so much. So they you know what? We're only going to do 40% because we can't do it too much for us. It's just not going to work.
There's only so many times we can throw a wee man before you
nearly kill yourselves.
Before he floats away, there's only so many times.
I mean, he could float away. There might be a time where he
They threw him one time. Remember, they threw him one time like a fan, and he flew away. Remember the fan? They had an airplane, they put a parachute on him, and he went flying away like that. I'm like, what the fuck? Do you remember the bungee jumping? Remember that bungee jumping in Jackass number 2 when he got pulled down in the fucking... Holy goddamn, poor wee man. I was like, man, they're lucky they didn't kill him. Because
I'm surprised they didn't die. There's so many ways where I thought they almost died.
I mean,
you think he's going to get to the moon?
You see that? It's like that wee man. Which, by the way, the new Jackass, the girl one that was in the last movie, she only did like 2 stunts. Like, she basically did the taser one, and then she did like a scorpion. And I'm like, everybody else is out there. There's one guy. The one dude. What's that? The black guy's name? The one who has a convict dad. Him and his dad did more stunts than the girl, and I'm like, why is she even here if she doesn't want to do no stunts? The girl doesn't do any stunts, and I'm like, all the guys are like, okay, you're gonna put a jet ski, and you're gonna drive me through cactus like a rag doll, okay, and I'm just like, which that was funny, okay, the fat guy. Like a 600-pound fat guy, they got him on a jet ski, they truck him, and then he went flying into a cactus field. That made me laugh so hard. I was laughing hysterically. Like, what Oh my god, man! Now you're making me want to go watch the last movie because I'm like, oh, that was so.
I'm probably gonna go back and watch all 4 of them to prepare for this one.
Part 2 is gross. There was like some.
Part 2 is my favorite. Part 2 is my favorite of the Jackass.
The stud farming, that was gross. Like when they're
the terrorist one was the funniest shit. That was the
Super Troopers director. That was hilarious.
Yeah, they had the Super Troopers director who was in Beer Fest and all the other raunchy comedy movies to play the taxi driver, and it was a prank within a prank. And the guy had the fucking pubic hair of the cast members' pubic hair. A prank within the prank. I laughed so hard. I never get tired of it.
Standards and practices on that set. I guarantee you. There's no standards and practices non-existent on that set.
Nope, absolutely not. But anyway, what did you think of this Jackass 5 trailer? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now on to the next main topic. We're going to talk about the new Spider-Man Noir trailer that dropped a couple of days ago, which I really love. The second trailer, I thought it was really damn good. You have Nicolas Cage battling Brendan Gleeson as the main supervillain in the show. The official trailer for Prime Video's Spider-Man based drama series features a gumshoe Nicolas Cage facing off against Brendan Gleeson's supervillain. Marking the Oscar-winner's first leading TV series role, Cage plays Ben Reilly, an aging and down on his luck private investigator in 1930s New York, who is forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. In the new trailer below, Reilly discovers his powers and faces off against an Irish crime boss, played by Brendan Gleeson, who is apparently a Silvermane from the comics. I personally thought that this trailer freaking slapped. It was so much better than the last one, even though I love the last one. But it gives us a little bit more that there's going to be a lot more rogues gallery, like Sandman, Shocker, and so on. And like this is definitely like a true noir style. And it kind of looks like that they're going to do a lot of these episodic episodes. And I like it. I like that idea because it's giving us a little bit of old school true noir style. And the black and white, I prefer the black and white. We already know that they're going to put out the colored version, and I watched the color version of the trailer, and it looked fine, but it just feels like a bit of an off-putting because I prefer the black and white because that's the tone of the show itself. It's supposed to be a little bit of an old school 1930s style back in that decade, and it fits into this new version of Spider-Man in that reality. And to be clear, that this is not the version from Into the Spider-Verse that you've met in that movie, because that character was Peter Benjamin Parker. His name is Ben Reilly, so he has a different name, and this is a different version that you met, even though it's Nick Cage. And I still am impressed by the visuals. I'm impressed by the web slinging, and we get to see him shoot organic web shooters, which I don't even know he did that in the comics, but this is probably the second live-action Spider-Man that we're going to see him do organic web shooters. But otherwise, I'm digging the tone. I think Brendan Gleeson is going to be a great main villain. He's a very underrated actor. I'm very impressed with it. And one thing I want to mention, that apparently if you have the paid tier for Prime Video, you get to watch the entire season in a day, way before these episodes
MGM
drop.
Plus, if you have MGM Plus, not Prime. But
they are also including the paid tier for Prime Video for Prime members. Not just MGM Plus, even though you have MGM Plus, but they're also going to include for people who are paid tier members.
So that means basically everybody can watch it.
So that and one thing I don't like is that they're trying to bully you into paying the paid tier, which I hate when they pull that kind of strategy. Because if people who want to watch Spider-Man, because if people are out there who are not paying the paid tier, they're mostly going to get a lot of spoilers getting spoiled on social media. That's going to happen. For people who have already watched it early in advance before anybody else, I think that's the dumbest thing that they have ever done, to me, in my opinion. It's kind of bullshit. That's just me. But anyway, Ryan, I want to know where.
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
Thank you for the interruption, Jake. But anyway, passing on to Ryan, what did you think of this trailer?
Yeah, this trailer was great. Really looking forward to this. I'm a big Nick Cage guy. Ben Reilly, I have next to no knowledge of beyond, I guess, what we got in Across the Spider-Verse. I know that he was involved in like the Clone Saga, but that was like something else entirely from what they're going with for this. On its surface, though, I am very much looking forward to this, and I hope that this is what the trailer promised.
Jake, what did you think?
What? Oh my God! Like.
That's what I thought. But no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was I thought it was a good trailer. I don't care what anyone says. He's canon. He's dressed like the same Spider-Man. He's canon. Spider-Man.
It doesn't matter, dude. He's not
Spider-Man.
canon. Dude, the creators even confirmed that he's not canon to this movie.
Which would be stupid if they even, because it's like, okay, then why are we doing the show then? Because it's just like it's the same actor. You can have anybody then if it's not Nicolas Cage. You can have Jason Presley, as Spider-Man. If it's that. Which I'm excited. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. My plan, look, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to watch Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse before I watch it, just so I can have a more fun experience. Also, I might even play Spider-Man PS4, or no, was it Lego? Which game was it? Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 that has the Spider-Man Noir city. I might play that game just so I can enjoy the city. I'm a big fan of Spider-Man Into the Spider. I'm a big fan of the trailer. I showed it to my uncle and he hated it because he said it's just Nicolas Cage acting like a moron. Even though I said Nicolas Cage, you gotta experience the Cage, okay? Nicolas, you don't enjoy Nicolas Cage, you experience Nicolas Cage, okay? And I think that's really what it is, and I'm really excited for it. It looks fun. I'm gonna watch it in color because I don't like watching black and white movies unless I absolutely have to. So
I will be watching in black and white like a purist.
Okay, you can watch it in black and white. I'll watch it in color.
Unlike certain heathens on this stream.
Color, if it's in color, you watch it in color. If it's in black and white, you watch it in black and white.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The show was actually shot in black and white. They shot the show in black and white. It was originally supposed to be in black and white.
And guess what? It's called noir. I can't remember any noir film shot in color. It's meant to be black and white. There are rules for this. RULES rules.
Huh. You know what, Ryan?
That's garbage.
But
Boo,
no,
you whore.
dare use Mean Girls against me, Matt. Don't you dare. But I'm excited for this. This is it's a fun trailer. I'm excited. I hope it's not just like it's one of those, the whole episode is just at the end he becomes Spider-Man. I hope it's not like the Netflix shows where it's like he has to earn his Spider-Manisms and everything. I hope it's actually really good, and I have faith that Phil Lord and Chris Miller that are producers, that it's going to be really good. I'm hoping it's not just one of those where it's like, oh man, that was like a rough show. Like, I hope it's not that. I'm scared that it's like that. That's my biggest fear. It's like, why were they releasing all episodes at once? Maybe because it's not that good. I'm really hoping I'm wrong.
To be fair, Fallout did the same thing. The first season, they dropped the entire season at once, and it became a hit. Even Reacher did with season 1. They did with Reacher as well.
I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be like, look, Nicolas Cage.
But also, not everybody's going to watch the entire season in a day because it's not all of them is going to get the access to that on Prime Video. Most of the people who are what?
I think that's why Daredevil's suffering right now because everybody's so used to binging it. Now it's like we got to wait week. I
don't think that's the case. I just don't think they're marketing enough. And also, this season is basically going to be more like a closer to home. If you've seen season 2, you know what I'm talking about. I think that's what kind of turned people off on that show.
But most people, they want to binge it. Like most people saying, I'll just binge it. Because it's like honestly, if I'm going to watch a show, and if it's a show I'm used to binging.
And most of the time, people forgot that the episodes were coming out. Because you got so many shows like
I legit
The Boys,
forgot.
And then you had Invincibles, the new season Invincible. Then you had Daredevil Born Again coming out simultaneously.
Which, you know what, I will say this last night. Last night I enjoyed the episode of Daredevil Born Again more than I enjoyed this week episode of The Boys.
I enjoyed it, but equally for me.
I thought Daredevil was better this week. But I will say though, yeah, I'm excited for Spider-Man. It comes out May 27th, so I'm really excited to watch it. Look, May's going to be a fun month, okay? You got Devil Wears Prada 2, Mortal Kombat, Mandalorian and Grogu, and on top of that, you got what's it called? You got the Punisher special that comes out, and
the Punisher special.
You get the new James Bond game, Lego Batman game, and you got the Spider-Man Noir. You're going to be. This is what I'm thinking right now.
What? Oh my god!
I want to point out to what you said and why I'm going to have to disagree with that the Daredevil episode was better than The Boys. The Daredevil episode kind of felt like it was way more of a setup to the finale. That was way more of a setup. So it didn't. There was not really. That was not really had a lot of stuff going on.
Someone died, and also a lot of
So,
stuff.
so did the boys. A lot of people died in that episode.
Those
A
are
lot of
cameos, deaths. They were cameos.
But also one of the main characters died too, and I won't say who it is.
Yeah, one character died, but I'm saying it wasn't like, and I will say
Because also Daredevil Born Again, there was not much going on. It was more of a setup.
an important person died, and then on top of that, all the shit that's happening is going to what's.
And also, the important person didn't really care for that character that much. I was like, thank God.
It was a morality test, and he failed the morality test.
I know, but the thing is, the character didn't really do anything for me. That was just my opinion. But it was a heavy scene. That's all I could say.
All right. We'll
but anyway, what did you think of this? The Spider-Man Noir trailer. Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, on to the next topic I wanted to cover. That Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker has turned down initial offers for Rush Hour 4. They were originally offered $8 million each. They previously made $20 million for the 3 movies. It's unclear if the financing is locked in and the filming is going to be delayed and they won't be able to start production in September at the earliest. Which, wow, that was a little bit of a surprise here that Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan were offered $8 million to do this Rush Hour 4 when they should have been paid more because the first 3 were successful. And that's just like it babbles me to me. And also with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, they're like, no, we should fucking deserve to get more money with that offer because we've been waiting for this Rush Hour 4 for nearly over a decade, since back in 2007 when we did the last movie. And for you to offer us $8 million, that's bullshit. That's fucking stupid. And that's why they're probably gonna have to work out another offer once they get that shit sorted out, because now that they're saying that they're probably not going to go into production until September. But anyway, Ryan, what did you think about this news?
Mr. Chan, Mr. Tucker, you both are very talented. I love the Rush Hour movies, but Rush Hour 3 was released in 2007, aka 19 years ago. I've been through middle school, high school, and soon to be 2 degrees in the meantime between Rush Hour 3 and Rush Hour 4, which isn't even released yet.
I was in 6th grade when Rush Hour 4 was in.
And I was in ninth. I was like in ninth.
I was in 6th grade.
Well, it came out in the summer, so I was like out of 8th grade at that time, and I was about to go into 9th grade when that movie came out in the summertime.
Chris Tucker, my brother in Christ, what have you done for me lately? Like, you were in Air. Like, good for you. That movie was very good. Like,
that was my point.
You're now known more for your Pitch Perfect Michael Jackson impression more than anything that you've starred in. And Jackie Chan is known for doing that one Iron Mask movie with Schwarzenegger. And like, he does mostly direct streaming stuff.
But he was in the Karate Kid Legends. He was in that came out a year ago.
And guess who? How many people saw that?
Shouts out to all 5 people that watched Karate Kids.
Tank,
like,
okay?
you are legends.
I know the movie Tank, but the thing is, it was a wide release, so that's I'm just pointing that out there. I'm not saying it was a big successful.
The point is,
I want to point this out here. If you were in their position and you were offered less money to come back to the new one, you're telling me that you wouldn't be upset about it? Really?
The point is, these people do not have the gall to be like, nah, we want more. Like, when they're not even close to.
When was the last movie starring Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, individually, not together? The last movie that starred Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker that was a financial success. Go ahead, I'll wait. I know the last movie was.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with them not getting offered a little bit more? Because they were paid. No, they were originally paid $20 million when they did the last movie.
In 2007.
But the thing is, why would you offer them less money? That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid.
Okay,
you should.
Back then,
it's like I want to go back to the comparison. Look what happened with Michael Rosenbaum. I want to see this right now. I want to go back to the comparison right here. Michael Rosenbaum was offered the same amount of money to do season 8 of Smallville, and he turned that shit down. So you might as well call and say, "Oh, fuck off, Michael Rosenbaum. You're not going to do season 8. Fuck yourself." That's like saying that.
That's the same thing, okay?
That is kind of the same thing. He wanted more. He wanted more.
For something, he came back for something 20 years later and said, "I want to make the same amount of money." Like, no, you're not making the same amount of money because you're not relevant back. Nowadays it'd be different if you were Brad Pitt. If Brad Pitt comes and says, "I want to make another Ocean movie," yeah, you're gonna pay fucking Brad Pitt that much money. But if you come out with like someone like, say for instance, if James Franco says, "Hey, I want to make this much money now." You're like, "Fuck you, James Franco. You haven't made a movie since 2017, okay? And you also have some accusations, so we don't even know if you're a fucking guarantee." I will say this though, Chris Tucker and them. Chris Tucker, the last leading role he had was Rush Hour 3, okay? The last leading role Jackie Chan had was like The Spy Next Door or like
God.
Oh no, it was not The Spy Next Door. It was The Foreigner. It was The Foreigner. That was his last leading role.
Money. So it's like really Jackie Chan, you really don't have any ground to stand on. Which, by the way, I will say this in their defense. Okay, I do think they are going to get paid more than $8 million because I'm sure they're probably going to work out. They're not getting 20. I just know they're not getting 20.
No.
Neither is Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner's not getting 20 either. They're probably going to give them like 12. They're going to probably settle around under 15. They'll probably get under 15. I wouldn't be shocked if they got 15. But they're probably going to get around 12 million in back end gross. That's probably what they'll get. You know, because they're like, look, we aren't going to pay you fucking 20 million. That's ridiculous. We're going to pay you about 12 million a piece, and then we'll do back end gross. Which I will say this though. I will say this. Rush Hour 3, by the way, Rush Hour 4. Do you really think though? Like I said, the only thing is though, they even said in the article, they don't even know where the fucking money's coming from because like literally there's so many people's hands in this movie's pocket. There's gonna be like 5 logos on this movie before it even fucking gets to the movie itself. Okay. And also you still got to pay the cast, the villain of the movie. You got to pay like the love interest of the movie. You still got to pay the other supporting characters from the movie. And on top of that, you got to hire a crew. Like good luck. By the way, good luck getting SAG actors that are going to want to work on this movie because of Brett Ratner. Good luck getting crew members that want to work on this movie because of Brett Ratner. And good luck getting permission to shoot in locations because I'm sure that's going to be hard too because especially I think a lot of the unions are going to block those locations because of Brett Ratner and because of Paramount teaming up with Saudi money. Mostly I think it's Saudi money, not Ratner, that's going to stop the unions. But it's mostly I think Saudi money is going to be an issue, which my issue is this, okay? I do think they should get paid more than $8 million. I agree. I do think that. I'm not saying that, but $20 million, no, I would not pay them 20 either. I would say, look, we'll work out a deal, and I would say 12 million a piece. That's a fair deal, okay? But 20 million, no. I'm like, this is 2008. Then yeah, we would have that discussion. But 2000, it's almost be 20 years. In 2 years, it'll be 20 years since Rush Hour 3.
Well, no, the last movie came out, I think it was like 2007. So it would be 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. And I'm like, do you think
no, but I will say, I will agree. I still don't think that movie's going to get made.
You don't think it's going to get made?
But the reason why I'm defending these two not getting paid enough to come back, because we are fucking willing to come back and doing this, that was kind of bullshit. But at the same time, I get it because I don't think that this movie's going to get made anytime soon. And
for people saying they're turning down this offer because of Brett Ratner, it's not Brett Ratner. They're loyal to Brett Ratner. In fact, Chris Tucker.
Yeah, they're very loyal to the director.
Yeah, they said that they would not make it without any. That's why they tried a couple. Remember back in like 2021 or 2019 or whatever. They tried to make Rush Hour 4 without Brett Ratner, and Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan declined it by saying, "That's our friend. We're not making this movie without our friend." And so basically, and now it seems like they just waited them out. Now they're getting their wish. And the only thing is, though, I truly don't think that they're going to like get a big star-studded cast. Like I think John Voight, James Franco, Mel Gibson, maybe. You know, that's probably.
I doubt that Franco will return. I doubt he will come back for this.
You don't think James Franco would play the villain of the movie if they asked him to?
No.
Yeah, with Paramount, I think they would let him. They would let James Franco. You know, now look, I'm just thinking. I keep thinking for some reason John Voight's going to join the cast any day now. I keep thinking in my head John Voight. For some reason, just John Voight. That just screams like that's who they're going to get. John Voight. John Voight's the villain of the movie. Watch, but I look. I'm excited for Rush Hour 4. If it gets made, I will be there day one to watch it in theaters. My only thing is though, it says the Saudis are putting money in and other countries are putting money in. That means they have to shoot in 7 different locations. How does that make a cohesive script? We don't even know who's writing this thing, and that's what scares me. It's like we don't know who's writing this thing. And
I don't even think they have a script yet.
No. I'm sure Brett Ratner's like meeting with writers right now, and the writers are trying to figure out how to come up with a cohesive story. What would make Agent Lee and what's his name, Carter travel across the freaking globe for some reason? You know, that's what I want to know. But
there's many bullshit reasons for them to travel across the country, across the world.
Why are we in Saudi Arabia now?
I guarantee it will probably be something somewhere connected to Lee's past, and they'll probably bring in some character for the pivotal role to do that. That would make that's the only excuses they think
Gal
come up
Gadot's
with.
going to be in this movie, ladies and gentlemen. Gal Gadot.
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano. Oh,
Yeah.
also, what's his name? What is that one actor? Zachary Levi.
There you go.
There you go.
Rush Hour 4 and John Voight.
I mean, I just don't see Zachary Levi being the main antagonist. I just don't see it.
That's why I said John Voight's the main antagonist. Zachary Levi is like their support. John Voight. You don't think John Voight? I'm telling you.
I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to be John Boyd.
There's not a lot of actors they're going to get that want to work on this project. You don't think like Mark Ruffalo's not going to join this project?
Well,
neither is like Dakota Johnson even, or like they're going to need like a big. They want to name a big actor and actress. They're going to have to look like people that will have no morals and be like, all right, I'll do it.
I'm sure there's a lot of them.
I'm sure there's a lot of them, but I don't know. I'd be shocked if they got someone like Scarlett Johansson or Halle Berry or Mark Wahlberg.
Well, you never know.
Actually, Mark Wahlberg wouldn't be a stretch. I mean, I can see Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, maybe.
He just did Balls Out. I mean, Rush Hour 4 would be freaking.
Dude, Marky Mark will do anything. He doesn't give a shit.
I mean, seriously. If you watched that movie yet, by the way, Balls Up.
No, I have no interest in watching that.
We're gonna watch that.
It looks fucking terrible.
Before Ryan leaves.
Let's move on to the next story.
Anyway, what did you think about this whole news about Rush Hour 4? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. Now on to the next topic. Apparently, James Gunn has shelved the movie called the Authority for the DCU. Let me see. James Gunn is currently in production on a Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, but is still using threads to keep comic book movie fans updated on the ongoing DC universe, which apparently will no longer include the Authority movie, at least not anytime soon. James Gunn said the script wasn't quite there, but more importantly, it didn't work in terms of the larger DCU, both in terms of the story and practical concerns. Maybe someday, not soon. Gunn revealed about the Authority, which was a 10-year project that he and Peter Safran announced in January 2023 when they first unveiled their plan for the new DC universe. I will say that I'm not surprised that this movie, The Authority, got shelved. I was not really anticipating it enough. And in case you don't know who The Authority is, they're basically the group of anti-heroes, basically the version of the Boys. And this was during around the time the New 52 Comics run came out. And when I heard about it, I was like, oh, interesting. And then when he said that he was going to bring one of the members of the Authority, the engineer in the Superman movie, great. That will be a great introduction of that character. And I will say the engineer, as much as I love the movie Superman, I think that the engineer just didn't really have anything to add other than having a purpose of her trying to reveal the recording of the message from Superman.
You must be on crack. I don't think we've seen the same movie.
Crap. And I
warned you.
But I mean, he definitely said that the thing is that it's not ready yet, and he's probably going to shelve it for now, and sometime in the future he will probably bring it up somewhere in the future. But I'm kind of glad that he's not one of those people that will just rush out a movie project if the script is not fully ready. That's part of his philosophy, and I completely respect it. And I'm not itching to see Authority anytime soon. I would be open to that idea, but I'd rather have them to be ready for a script before actually just making a movie out of impulse. But Ryan, what did you think of this news?
I mean, it's not surprising to me. James Gunn comes across to me as a bit of a perfectionist. I can't blame him. I'd rather have him take his time on something than rush out something mediocre. And besides, I don't know too much about the Authority, so I mean, at least introduce them first, build them up, and then do something like this. So I'm sure that that this decision is probably for the best.
Jake, what did you think?
Well, first off, I disagree with you. I think the engineer was great in the movie, and
I'm not saying she wasn't great. I just feel like she was good for the purpose of it, but she wasn't. She was not a character that I can't wait to see her next. I was like, no,
she's the Mercy Graves role essentially. Like she's basically the henchman that fights Superman.
Yeah.
It's like
she was the henchman. She was the muscle. I mean, she's not a bad in the movie. I'm not saying she was terrible. All I'm saying is that she was the character's like, hey, she was good. It was a good introduction of her character, but it's not something I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I can't wait to see her in the Authority now. No, she was like, yeah, she was cool. She was a good henchman for what she was served.
Which look, and here's the thing. Okay, I'm kind of glad because I'd rather see her evil and then being like because then like I believe in the comic she's like an anti-hero that's like I'm a badass, and I was evil but now I'm good. I didn't want to see her redemption. I like to see her as a badass because she kind of reminds me of Mystique in the original X-Men movie. And
well, she's not really all evil. She just really believes that she's trying to get rid of
she's
Superman.
Really loyal to Lex.
She's very loyal to Lex Luthor.
And I like that she's kind of like Mystique in X-Men, and I like that about her. And so I'm kind of glad to see her in the sequel and see what's going to happen because I know last time we saw her, she got her ass knocked out by Superman. So
that sequence was sick, dude. That sequence was so good.
So
but we also we're still going to see some of the characters, like maybe some of the members of the Authority in some supporting roles, but them carrying a movie, that's going to be a little bit difficult to do right now at this time.
I'm looking forward to it though. I'm excited. Look, here's the thing. Okay, with the Authority, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Authority because I've never really read the comics and stuff like that. And I understand that, like, from what I read, it seems like they just kept having the same issue where it was two Guardians of the Galaxy-ish because they said, and James Gunn's like, he doesn't want people to keep thinking that's all he knows how to do. And, and I think because, obviously, Suicide Squad was very Guardians of the Galaxy coded. And I think some people think Supergirl is, which we haven't seen the movie, the final product. So I don't know. Maybe that's where he was like, look, if I do this movie, people are just going to keep saying that. So let's just not make it until, which who knows?
I believe that the probably part of the reason because it was going to be a little bit too much like The Boys and not Guardians of the Galaxy because they are the anti-hero groups that will all about getting the job done at all costs. Even
this
getting
could be an HBO Max series then. I mean,
if they do a series, I wouldn't be surprised if they want to do an HBO series. I mean, that would make a lot more sense.
I'm just saying, Eric Kripke is wrapping up The Boys this year. You could literally get him.
Yeah, that would be good, but then it would just be like too derivative. You don't want to make it the Authority too derivative like The Boys if you get Eric Kripke on board.
But yeah, that's well.
Anyway, what did you think about this whole news? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, on to the next topic. I want to cover the news that I wanted to bring up earlier today that I brought up to Jake that I want to cover about the whole date moving between the Mummy 4 and the
Who cares? Ouchie!
I swear to God, I'm about 1 second away taking away to your control, bro.
Continue.
A classic.
But anyway, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz's The Mummy movie moves to 2027 as Michael B. Jordan and Austin Butler's Miami Vice 85 bumps into 2028. Two of Universal's mostly highly anticipated reboots are shifting release dates. Miami Vice 85, starring Michael B. Jordan and Austin Butler, is moving to May 19th, 2028. Taking the previously announced release date for the next installment of The Mummy, which features the return of Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. The yet-to-be titled fourth Mummy movie from Radio Silence will hit in theaters on October 15, 2027. Academy Award winner Fraser and Weisz will reprise their roles as an adventurer Rick O'Connell and Elvin O'Connell in the movie plot, details of which are being kept, not ironically, under wraps. And the Miami Vice update from F1 and Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski will start later this year on Thursday. Variety reported that newly minted Oscar winner Jordan and Oscar-nominated Butler closed their deals to play the suave South Florida detectives Ricardo Rico Tubbs and James Sonny Crockett in the film, which will explore the glamour and corruption of mid-80s Miami. The reboot is said to be inspired by the pilot episode and first season of the landmark Universal television series that influenced culture and set to the style of everything from fashion to filmmaking. I will say that I'm not surprised that they wanted to move the date because more people would have gone out to see The Mummy over Miami Vice 85. Because The Mummy still has a lot more fan base than Miami Vice, to be honest with you. But I'm so excited for both of these movies, especially now that you got, for Miami Vice 85, you got these 2 Academy Awards actors with Michael B. Jordan and Austin Butler co-starring the movie together, and Joseph Kosinski being at the helms of directing the film. I'm on board with this, and I'm fine with them wanting to take place in the 80s era. I mean, I think that's probably a better move to do, to be honest with you. I think that adds a little bit of nostalgia because we know that he's all about nostalgia with 80s style, especially when you watch Top Gun Maverick and F1. It's basically a modern version of the 80s, if you really think about it. But anyway, what did you think about this this date getting moved, Brian?
Again, it doesn't surprise me. Probably for the best, considering that The Mummy's a little bit more relevant than Miami Vice in the grand scheme of things. And besides, I imagine Mummy 4 is going to make a whole lot of money when it does eventually come out because the Frasier love is very real. And I'll just leave it at that. But I am genuinely excited for Miami Vice 85, just for the radio silence of it all and just the Michael B. Jordan and Austin Butler of it all. So happy for both movies. This was very much the right decision.
Jake, what did you think?
All right. Well, first off, I think The Mummy just dodged a huge bullet because now they don't have to compete against the Disney film, and they also don't have to compete against Marvel in May of 2028. So I think that right there is just like right there is a slam dunk. You know, unfortunately, Miami Vice is going to get killed like in May because I just don't think like Miami Vice is going to do as well, even with Joseph Kosinski. I mean, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I just really don't think like it's going to be like a juggernaut. I think it'll get great reviews, but I just don't think it's going to be like a $700 million film. I think it'll probably be.
You don't think
like,
so? Because look what happened with F1. That
But
made a hell of a lot of money, and it was not even a
it was
well-known
a car
property.
racing movie, and
Yeah,
also,
but it still made money. It still made a lot of money.
Miami
Not
Vice-
and also, when was the last racing film other than F1 made a lot of money?
Cars.
Not. Yeah, from a Disney Pixar
Cars
film.
3.
Yeah, from a Pixar film, really.
Also, what was that one racing movie that just didn't?
Yeah, but Gran Turismo
Ford
flopped.
v Ferrari.
Ford v Ferrari, that was not really a racing movie. That was more of a biopic drama. That had
Also,
nothing
what about
to
the
do with
Fast and
racing.
Furious movies? Aren't they make billion-dollar movies?
Yeah, but that was not a racing movie. That was way heavily on action blockbuster film. The racing movie fucking derailed since Tokyo Drift, dude.
People love the car movies. People love car movies.
Yeah, it was a car, but it was not a
There's lots of
racing
car
movie.
chases, maybe. I mean, but like, I just don't see this movie.
There was more guns and explosions in that movie than racing itself.
But I do think The Mummy. The Mummy coming out in October of 2027. That's a great release date. Because I was like, I always thought I'm looking at that release date going, The Mummy has a terrible release date because I'm like, they need to move it to April. Now it's like, okay, October. But the only thing is though, that means they now have to, when they start shooting, their post-production process is going to be like quick because by the time that means they got to have this movie the cut done.
They're probably gonna have to keep the budget. They're probably gonna have a low budget on that movie too for The Mummy 4, since it's directed by Radio Silence.
Which I feel like Radio Silence, I have faith in them because they're known to keep their budget lows and they're known to get stuff done quick. Because they shot Scream 6, they shot that like in like February of 2020. No, what was it? No, it was,
I think it was around 2020. I think it was like in late.
They shot it in
2021.
October of 2022, and it came out of March of 2023.
No, it was not. It was in 2022. The fifth Scream movie.
Yeah, they started shooting. I think around the summertime. They shot
it somewhere. I think it was around in the fall, and they ended it in December in 2020. No, not in December. You're probably right. They probably did shot it in the summer.
Yeah, because it was a quick turnaround. That's what Courtney Cox.
Because this was in 2021 when they shot the fifth movie, and it came out in early of 2022 in February.
But then they did a quick turnaround for because it came out like 2023 for the next one, which. I'm surprised, and I honestly, I think they can get that turnaround, make that timetable work. I just hope it's not heavily reliant on CGI. That's my thing.
Yeah, I agree. And I will say that with Miami 85 coming out in the summertime, it makes sense. And also, they are going to promote the shit out of the movie, saying, "Hey, from the director that gave us Top Gun Maverick and F1." And people will have it will pique their interest and see this movie. And you got Austin Butler and Michael B. Jordan in the co-starring the movie together and doing an 80s style of a buddy action crime thriller.
I think they should have had Glenn Powell because I think Glenn Powell would have done a better job.
I mean, Glenn Powell would have been a great choice, but I don't care. I mean, if you got a fucking Austin Butler and then you got Michael B. Jordan, I'm all set for that one.
Austin Butler's good, but I feel like he's more like the Jared Leto kind of actor where I think Glenn Powell was more like the Tom Cruise type of actor.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're probably right about that. But I mean, I don't care. I'm fine with it either way. But anyway, what did you think about this whole date getting moved? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.
Which movie
Now,
are you more excited for? The Mummy or F1? I mean, not F1, but
okay. Here's saying. I'll say what I'll echo what he said. Like, which one are you going to be more excited? Are you going to be more excited for the Mummy 4 or Miami Vice 85? Jump in the comment section below and just let us know. But anyway, on to the next topic I want to cover is the person that leaked this whole full movie of the Avatar spinoff of the continuation of the series called The Legend of Aang. This man who leaked this full movie online on social media could face up to 7 years in prison. The 26-year-old suspect has been arrested for leaking Paramount Plus's The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender. The confirmation comes from sources after Singapore's Straits Times reported on the news. Paramount Plus had been investigating the online leaks of its upcoming film, and sources familiar with the situation said the leak had not come from within the studio. Local police in Singapore put out a statement saying that it seized electronic devices, which included a digital copy of the unreleased film. According to the report, the man had gained unauthorized remote access to a media server from which he was able to download the film before distributing it online. Unauthorized access to computer material carries a maximum 7 years jail time and or a potential fine of up to 50 grand, according to the local news. The entire film was posted on Twitter. The animated feature was originally slated to be released theatrically on October 9th, but the studio decided instead to distribute exclusively on Paramount Plus, leading to the fan protest. This one was not a big surprise that this guy got caught for leaking that whole movie online on social media, because I remember I was sitting at home and I was scrolling through the Twitter feeds, and that thing popped up. And this was during CinemaCon. This was during the events of CinemaCon. I remember that I saw that post of that full movie of the Legend of Aang. And I only watched a little bit of the beginning, but I stopped after that because I did not want to watch the rest of it. I want to watch it when it comes on Paramount Plus. And I already know that many fans who have been a fan of the show have been very upset that they're putting this movie out on Paramount Plus and not in theatrical release. For me personally, I get why that they want to put this out on streaming, because we often forget that this is literally a straight up continuation of a Nickelodeon show from the Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I am a fan of the series, and I'm excited to see the continuation of Aang in the rest of the game. But at the same time, if they put this movie out in theaters, nobody will go see it. Fans like us who have loved the show and follow it will see it for sure, but the casual audiences will not. It's like the same situation with The Mandalorian Grogu, that, yeah, more people will see it, but not enough people will see it for the casual audiences who have never watched the Mandalorian show and didn't follow up, because this is a straight up continuation of the show. And seeing him facing up to 7 years in prison, I'm not surprised by this, because I'm totally against with video piracy, and I don't condone it at all. I think that's wrong because it's costing the studio a lot of money. If you try to post it online and showing it to everyone for free, that's going to hurt a lot more. But anyway, Ryan, what did you think of this whole news?
Something I'm a little foggy on. Someone got access to a server?
Yeah, someone had access to that server. However, how that happened is beyond me.
Paramount, this is
like
what
sometimes
happens.
like people, especially people will send like Sony got hacked. Remember when back in 2014 when Sony got hacked?
Oh yeah,
what it is, they'll
remember.
find one employee who's like gullible. They'll send them something saying you got to clean your files or something. Click on this link. Or they'll send them something that looks legit, and then they'll click on it, and then they'll have access. It'll download all their information in the server. And then they'll like, oh, I found this, okay? And then they'll try to use it to blackmail them. And usually, like, the only thing is because piracy is is just frowned upon mostly. It's not like, it's criminal, but not like murder or rape. It's more like, okay, you stole something and we caught you. So you're getting, like, most likely he'll get like a year in jail. Remember the guy who leaked GTA or whatever? He got like a year in jail. So most likely he'll probably get a year in jail, and that's about it. I honestly, I'm not a big fan. It's not because I'm not a fan. I've never seen like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I saw bits and pieces of the 2010 film.
Oh no! Have you seen the series?
I've never seen any of the series. No, I'm
Oh,
not.
you have. I highly recommend you should watch the series. It's
Coming-
so good. It starts off being a little bit of a kid friendly, a little bit in the beginning, but as you get further in the show, it gets dark and very more mature. And it's actually one of the best stories they've ever told. And it's easily my favorite animated show of all time. It's rewatchable too, and it's only 3 seasons.
Yeah, I'm just
with
not an
20
anime
like 20
guy.
over. It's not like a cheesy anime style, but it has great dialogue and great story too.
Coming soon to the channel, Air Talk.
Yeah, we should
Um,
definitely do that. That should
But
be great.
isn't there like a live action show too on Netflix?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the Netflix did the live action first season. They're about to drop season 2 sometime this year.
Didn't watch it.
I thought it was slightly better than the M9 version, but it's not as good as the original series.
Here's the thing: why would you leak something? Especially because I was reading this, and it says that fans literally were like campaigning Paramount to put it in theaters, and they almost got their wish. And then now it's like, well, it's online, so now they're like, all right, well, we don't have to now. We can watch
I guarantee that most people watched the full version of that movie when it was still on, and we already know that Paramount took it down already. I mean, it's no
Which, by the way,
surprise.
wouldn't that contradict what you're doing? Because you're trying to really, hey, we want to go to theaters and pay to watch this in the theater, and then like all of a sudden it leaks online. Now you're like, all right, I guess I'll watch it for free at home, and I'm like, you literally could have watched it for free in October. Now you're gonna like, you're just undermining Paramount at that point, you know? Like, I mean, that's just crazy. Or remember, X-Men Origins Wolverine? Remember when that movie got leaked online?
Yeah, but it got leaked online, and a lot of the footage were unfinished visual effects shots, and they were not even. This was the rough cut of that movie.
And you know what? A lot of people were upset about that, you know? And that guy got arrested. He got sent to prison for it.
He got sent to prison for that.
Yeah, Wolverine like literally put his claws in him and said, "You're done, bub." How's that feel, bub? You know, but yeah, I just think honestly, if you're gonna be an asshole and leak something like that, I mean, honestly, that's just it makes you the piece of shit because all these fans almost got their wish, and now it's like a fart in the wind because of you. And I mean, that's really, and I hope he does go to jail for it. You know, he deserves. If you're gonna leak something, you're stealing essentially a property. You're stealing millions of dollars from a studio.
Yeah, and a lot of people that I've talked to, when I won't say anyone, but there are some people that I know that do piracy. I was like, dude, the people who will watch it like illegal downloads. I was like, dude, what the fuck? You're literally stealing movies. You're literally hurting the studio. And they want to twist that around and try to justify why it's okay to steal movies. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What world do you live in, dude? I
will say, I think it's true.
Yeah.
And be a good person. Don't be a dick about it. I mean, it'd be different if like if someone took the movie and then played it in theaters and then like was trying to get people in theater, it'd be different. But then the fact is that some asshole just took the movie and then, I'm going to release it online just to spite the studio, even though you're actually doing the studio a favor by saying, see, people would rather watch it at home.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But yeah,
all I will say is Paramount. This is what happens when you make your password 12345.
But anyway, what did you think about this whole news? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway, another topic that I want to cover is that the live-action Casper series is in development at Disney Plus, and it will be run by Rob Letterman, Hillary Winston, and produced by Steven Spielberg himself. Zero meet Casper. In a very competitive situation involving a 5-way bidding war, Disney Plus has landed a new series take on Casper the Friendly Ghost. The live action project comes from Rob Letterman and Hillary Winston, executive producers of another Disney Plus supernatural series called Goosebumps. Steven Spielberg, who executive produced the 1995 Universal movie Casper, starring Christina Rink, and USCP, a division of Universal Studio Group. There are no details yet about the new Casper, described as a modern update on the classic ghost story, which is in the early stages of development. It is believed to have a dark edge to it the way Wednesday tackles the Addams Family lore. So for me, I was not surprised that Disney Plus wants to do a live action Casper series, because they saw the success of season 1 and 2 of Wednesday and doing a more of a dark, edgier take in the modern day era. And I'm someone who would really love the original Casper movie. I watched it as a young kid growing up on the VHS tape, and I still watch it like every once a year. It's one of my comfort films during the spooky season. I love the first one was so good, but then when they did the sequels of the straight to VHS, none of them were all that good. Some of them were exceptional than others, but the Casper was just more of a cult following, and the IP died down so much. But it's still people look back on the original Casper, and them to get one of the executive producers, the showrunner, to do the show that did the Goosebumps series on Disney Plus, which I still have not watched that anthology show that came out on Disney Plus. Yeah, I'm curious to check that out now. And having Spielberg coming in and being involved in the show, I'm interested in it. But right now it's in the early stage. We don't know what they're going to do. We only know that they want to have that same idea that they did with the Netflix series did with Wednesday with Al Gordon and Miles Miller that did that show. But anyway, what did you think of this news, Ryan?
So I have no real nostalgia for Casper, so I have nothing really to add to this. I mean, 5-way bidding war for Casper of all things?
Isn't it public domain too? That's the question, or is it?
Of all things. So I have nothing much to say. I'm sorry.
Jake, what did you think?
Look, I am not a fan of the original movie. I mean, when I was a kid, I was a big fan of the Stabbin direct-to-video film, like Casper Meets Wendy and Casper: A Spirited Beginning. Those were my favorite movies when I was a kid. Growing up, every year on ABC Family, it would come on Casper Meets Wendy or Casper: A Spirited Beginning. And I remember Casper Meets Wendy was my favorite Casper movie when I was a kid. Again, I haven't seen it in years. I think the last time I watched Casper: Spirited Beginning, it was on Peacock, a year ago. And I watched it, and I'm like, this is kind of shit. This is like shit.
But also, when was the last time you saw the original film?
It's been like 4 years ago.
4 years. Okay. Personally, I still think that it's a better movie than
I'll
all
like
the other
it if I rewatch it. But I mean,
yeah.
I remember like the Casper movie. I remember the favorite joke in the movie is the Ghostbusters joke.
I mean, I will admit, I even though that Casper Meets Wendy was not great because it was like straight, like it felt like you were watching a TV movie.
George Hamilton is the
it was one of my guilty pleasures. I remember, and that was I first discovered Hilary Duff, who was the co-star of that movie before she got cast in the Lizzie McGuire series on Disney. And there was a kid who was the bully in that movie. I remember he was in Power Rangers Turbo that played the Blue Ranger in that movie. I was like, oh God, this is the kid from Power Rangers Turbo. I was like playing the asshole kid in that movie. I was like, damn.
And on top of Michael McDonald, remember when the ghost inherit the three guys that look just like them? Like Michael McDonald is one of the ghosts, and yeah. I remember Shelley Duvall was in that movie. Remember that Shelley Duvall?
Yeah.
Remember she was one of the sisters.
And one of the sisters of the main witch was in the original film who played a different character.
Yeah. Look, I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping it's good. I'll watch it if it's good. I mean, something to watch on Halloween, obviously, especially as long as it comes out on Halloween. Don't make it like freaking February, But also, we do have one breaking story that I was going to point out. But but as for Casper, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the direct-to-video films. I like the cartoon as a kid, and
All right. Guys, what did you think about this whole news about Casper being in development? Are you excited for it? Or are you not? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway, what was the news that you wanted to cover with the WTF news?
Right before we got breaking news. Discussing films.
Hold on.
Michael 2 is moving forward with meetings for the film taking place shortly. Filming will begin this year or in 2027, depending on Anti-Fuqua's schedule. We're getting Michael 2.
Well, that's no surprise. We talked about that earlier. That we know that they're going to do another one.
Well, now it's official.
We're getting Michael Jackson 2. It's 2 Michael, 2 Jackson is what it should be called. That's what it should be called. 2 Michael, 2 Jackson. Michael 2 is moving forward, meetings taking place, which that's what it should be called, the Michael Jackson. Just be called, the first one's Michael, the second one's Michael Jackson. That's what it should be called.
Yeah. That's what it should be called.
Well, so let me ask you this though. Michael 2. I mean, is it really a surprise? Is it really a surprise that we're getting Michael Jackson 2?
No.
It's not a surprise to me.
I mean, we already knew a long time ago that they were
Yeah,
going to do
you know what? You know
another
what? All this. He said
What?
they should make it in 3D so that way you get real. You feel. They should make it in 3D so that way that way you feel like touched when you watch it. But-
Okay, quit it with the touching jokes.
Really, dude?
These are the jokes, kid. I wish I had that Monsters Inc. kid. I wish I had that Monsters Inc. clip.
I thought of the same thing, but it was fun. It was funny once. Don't ruin it.
All right. But going to what the fuck news. Let's go to what the fuck news now. I'll start reading.
Hold on, give me a moment. Okay.
Now that we had our entertainment headlines for the week, now we got something to show is when celebrities are real assholes, and we call it what the fuck news.
Yeah, Australian club manager Katy Perry and Ruby Rose were very drunk on a night of alleged assault. The manager of a nightclub where Ruby Rose says she was allegedly sexually assaulted by Katy Perry more than 15 years ago is weighing on the claim. A former manager of the since closed Spice Market nightclub in Melbourne, Australia, told the Herald Sun that he never saw the alleged incident, but confirmed Ruby and Katy were at the establishment that the night and both had way too much to drink. As we reported, Ruby posted a series of messages Sunday on Threads claiming Katy had rubbed her disgusting vagina on my face while they were at a nightclub in Australia. Ruby, who is 40, said she was in her early 20s at the time and vomited during alleged sexual assault. Katy immediately hit back, telling TMZ through her rep the allegations being circled on social media by Ruby Rose about Katy Perry are not only categorically false, they are dangerous, reckless lies. Again, the manager said he did not witness the alleged incident happen and knows nothing of anyone vomiting that night, but said Katy and Ruby left on good terms despite being heavily intoxicated. According to Katy's rep, Miss Rose has a documented history of making serious public allegations on social media against various individuals, claims that have repeatedly been denied by those named. Yeah, this is a topic that Jake wanted to talk about a while. I personally did not care to talk about that.
Yeah. All that I will say, though, is Katy Perry once... well, I had a joke about I kissed a girl and I liked it, and it just completely left me.
Oh, my God. Now you make me think about it.
But, well, you know what? Here's the thing about this story, okay? This is what there's layers to the story. Like, this story is getting weird because apparently... All right, this is my biggest issue with this story. Okay, she says she goes on Twitter, like this is 2 weeks ago. She goes on Twitter and says, I was sexually assaulted by Katy Perry. And at first she was like, oh, it was at first she was saying she was at a park bench. That's from what I read. I was like, it was at a park bench, and Katy Perry came up, rubbed her badge on it, and she threw up all over Katy Perry with her girlfriend and ran away. And then I'm just thinking, then she's like, no, I was at a club. And then of course she says that people like, okay, well, Katy Perry wasn't even in like the in Australia. She's in Coachella. Oh, this happened in when I was in my 20s, and I'm like, why wouldn't you tell somebody in your? Why would you wait 20 years to tell somebody? Oh, that's like crazy part to me.
Yeah, but I find it very weird. And when I brought it up in this news, that Katy's rep said that Rose has a very history of well documented of making serious public allegations.
Everybody, she got fired from Batgirl. Remember Batgirl? I was a big fan of hers. Because I thought she was great in Orange is the New Black, and I was so happy when she was cast as Batgirl because I liked her in Batgirl. I was like, okay, I didn't like the show though. After I saw the first episode, I'm like, it's terrible. But I thought she was always good in that role, and I did like her in the Crisis on Infinite Earths episodes and everything. But my issue, and when she got fired, I'm like, why'd she get fired? But apparently, it was because she's a liar. She likes to make up false claims. Like she tried, like one person, apparently, her and the guy who played her father, Diggory Scott, who was the bad guy in Mission Impossible 2. Who plays her dad in the show. Mm-hmm. They got into an argument because she was late and would not show up on trying to do any of the training and stuff, and he called her unprofessional, and they got into a shouting match. And then later on, she tried to say he sexually assaulted her, to which everyone in the crew said they never even been alone together. Why the hell would that even, like how that, and with even everybody in the set, even the showrunner, who by the way is a lesbian, had said Ruby Rose has never even been in the same room as this man. So how did she sexually assault him? And so basically, and then on top of that, she faked an injury. I think the last straw with CW was when she faked an injury and tried. All right, so she was doing an independent film, and she got hurt on the independent film. They didn't have any insurance, so she goes back to Batgirl, fakes an injury, and says, "Oh, my leg is broken. Can you fix it?" And then they find out later, oh, her leg was broken on another set. But because CW would cover her insurance, so that's why she got. That's why she went up there, and then of course. That was the last straw because, like, okay, you just cost us a lot of money by faking that bullshit. And then, of course, and look, here's the thing. It just seems like, and then she has accused other actors and actresses of sexual assault. Like, I think she accused Vin Diesel or Jason Statham of sexual assault, which she's like, I've never even, talked to you, like, for more than 2 seconds. And so basically it's like.
Because she was in that Triple X movie with the Return of Xander Cage in that film.
Like, there's a reason why she wasn't in the Meg 2.
Yeah, that tells you something.
To quote Limp Bizkit, it's all about the he said, she said bullshit.
And I will say this, with Ruby Rose. I'm sorry to say this, but I was never a fan of her. She was not that great of an actress. The only time she was good in was John Wick Chapter 2, when she's not speaking. When she was not speaking any dialogue. When she opens her mouth, it's cringy as shit. She cannot deliver a line. She can deliver some cool action scenes and fight scenes, but she doesn't have any gravitas. She's not very charismatic. I watched her as Batgirl in Crisis on Infinite Earth. Even I did not like her character, and I didn't like her in that show. And I tried watching the pilot, and that was fucking awful. I did not like it at all. It was terrible. And I'm sorry to say this, I'm not surprised that they fired her ass in that after the first season.
Which was mostly her behavior on set. That was
it was mostly her behavior. Obviously.
It wasn't her like, oh, we didn't like. No one likes your character. Like, they would have kept her if they would. And that's why they didn't even bring her back. Remember, they recasted her. For the
they recast her and got completely a different character.
Yeah,
they had the actress that replaced her as the Batwoman. And then they recasted the Ruby Rose's version of Batwoman, and it got the girl from Krypton to reprise to play that character.
And then she goes to the police, by the way, after she says, because after somebody called her on Twitter, says, "Why would you wait 20 years?" He said, "Why didn't you file a police report?" And she goes, "I'm going to Australian police right now to file the police report." So she goes there. Then her story didn't add up, and then they figure out she was lying, and they talk to the bar manager. The bar manager says, "I remember Katy Perry there that night," and he goes, "She was not, neither one of them. No one vomited that night," which you would remember if you see somebody throwing up on Katy Perry, you would remember that. That would stick in that would be news.
You would never forget it. That would be sticking into your brain forever.
Yeah. So, and now the police think she's lying. So then she flees. She fled the state, apparently. That's what the story I would read. She fled Australia because she lied. And she goes, "I'm not fleeing the country. I just have to go do something in another country." I'm like, why would you flee the fucking state then? And the police are like, "Hey, we have some more questions." "Oh, I can't. I'm leaving Australia, but I can't." I'm just like,
I'm on the plane now, guys.
Yeah. It's which, by the way, I'm just saying, she should have just not said nothing. I think she was just mad at Katy Perry or something. And then that's what it feels like. She was just mad at her. She probably dissed her, or she probably, "Hey, you want to collab on something or something?" And Katy Perry kind of gave her probably the cold shoulder. So she goes, "All right, I'm going to do this." Which the thing that everybody was kind of because a lot of people hate Katy Perry, okay? And I get it why people hate Katy Perry. But it seems like Katy Perry didn't do nothing. It feels like she's just making shit up because everything she's saying is not adding up. It's like, well, then this makes no sense. And then this makes the timeline. And then you say it's in your 20s. Does this happen? Well, then why you waited 20 years to say anything, okay? She's had, especially when Me Too came out, you could have literally said that and have ruined her life. I mean, why would you just wait?
This is the problem with the whole Me Too movie. They take advantage of it, and they use that as their weapon to attack other celebrities and try to destroy their lives, whether it's the truth or not.
It also pretty much becomes a witch hunt.
And nobody would have saw that, and everybody would have saw if a girl stood up, went to her face. Everybody would have saw that. Everybody, because you're at a club, especially.
You're in public. You're in public, dude. And you have
not in the bathroom.
I mean, we don't even know what was this in our early 20s, so we probably didn't have any smartphones back then.
20 years ago.
Yeah, so we didn't have smartphones. We did have flip phones back then, so we couldn't if it were today, you would be exposed 100%.
It would be it would be all over TMZ.
It would be all over TMZ by sundown.
We wouldn't have photos, but they would be TMZ. Katy Perry sexually assaults woman by rubbing her vagina across her face. And that would have been
TMZ is all about covering that shit.
I mean, they would have covered that in a heartbeat because that would have been like, because everybody would have been like, oh, now the police are here. Katy Perry is saying, oh, she didn't. Now they're testing the woman's face. And if Katy Perry, they're taking, like, that's where I had an issue with this story, because it just comes off like, it's almost like saying, hey, this guy's dog got into a bulldozer and tried to run me over. That's the kind of story it feels like. It feels like the dog, like the dog's an evil genius, criminal mastermind. Seems like something Kanye West would say. But yeah, that's just what I want to talk about this game.
Anyway, what did you think about this whole Ruby Rose and Katy Perry situation?
Was it Katy Perry? Which team are you on?
Like, which team are you on, Katy Perry or Ruby Rose? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, away from the WTF news, we're going to cover the memorial for two memorial. First off, we're going to cover Roger Swede, the creator of He-Man, who dies at the age of 91, who passed away. Roger Swede, the creator of the He-Man action figure, which spawned the popular 1980s cartoon series He-Man in the Masters of the Universe, died on Tuesday after battling with dementia. TMZ reports he was 91. Swede was the lead designer for Mattel's preliminary design department in the 70s and 80s. In 1976, Mattel turned down a deal to produce toys for Star Wars in an offer that proved extremely lucrative for Cincinnati-based toy maker Kenner Products after A New Hope was released in 1977. After the fact, Mattel struggled to launch a popular action figure based on an original IP, and enter Swede, who pursued of a fresh idea, experimented it by gluing a Big Jim action figure into a fighting stance and adding a clay to its body for bulk. This became the prototype for He-Man, which he successfully pitched to the CEO Ray Wagner. He-Man officially hit markets in 1982. Yeah, this was. I mean, I'm not surprised that he. It's sad that he was battling dementia, but he definitely lived a full life, and I hope that he had a chance to see the movie Masters of the Universe, which was coming out in June, but before his passing. I figured that he would definitely had a chance to see the rough cut of the film before everybody else, and I think they've known about his condition for a long time. But all I say is that he was the one that designed the character He-Man from the beginning, and it became a hit. And especially with the 1980s cartoon series, which I was never really that attached to the 1980s cartoon series. I've heard about it and I knew about it, but I never really watched any of the episodes. But to see it to be adapted into live action, I'm very excited for that movie. But hearing the passing, I hope that he had a chance to see the film before anybody else. But Ryan, what did you think about this news?
I mean, it's just genuinely tragic. And then, not to mention, you got the Masters of the Universe movie coming out later on this year. It's just sad stuff. It's really sad stuff. And I remember reading somewhere that like Roger Swede was like not bankrupt, but he was close to broke, which is a shame because it's like surely he should have gotten like what a way to go. And that's all that I will say about that. Rest in peace.
Jake, what did you think?
All right. Well, first off, I bought today a Master of the Universe sword from Walmart from the upcoming film, and I was gonna pull it today, but we're having bad weather here today, and I was gonna pull it and go, I have the power, He-Man. But look, here's the thing. There's a great documentary on Netflix called the Toys That Made Us. I urge you all to go watch that episode. They do a whole episode on Masters of the Universe, and he's, I think, in it, and it's so well done, the documentary, about how they made the Masters of the Universe toys and everything, because they needed a toy line that was going to rival the Star Wars, and it was and they needed something, and then like, oh well, we have this toy line He-Man and all that, but then like we need a cartoon, and they made a cartoon, and the cartoon was really popular. And look, here's the thing: I am a huge nerd for like documentaries like that, the Toys That Made Us, and I really, really think that everyone should go watch it. I did really enjoy Masters of the Universe Revelation, like the one that Kevin Smith made. I thought that was a great show. I've not watched the 3D animated one they made.
I heard that film got a big outrage from that Netflix show that that He-Man was not really the main character.
They take a swing. they took a swing and they did something different, and then people got mad about Kevin Smith for taking that swing, and then they fix, and then there's a payoff at the end, but people were mad because they did it they released the first half and then released the second half. So when they did the first half, people got pissed off about it, and then a lot of people didn't watch the second half because of the first half, which I think they should just put the whole series out. I think that would have helped them a lot, but instead they got mad at Kevin Smith because he did something bold and different. And I thought it was a creative swing, and it was really good. I never watched the second season though. I will say though, I think for He-Man, I'm excited to see the movie. I'm definitely going to watch the movie when it comes out in theaters. I really hope that he got to see at least a rough cut of the movie, because I mean, imagine that you've waited your whole life for this live action film that's good. Because I mean, they did one in the '80s with Dolph Lundgren, and it wasn't really good. But I imagine he's been waiting to see and I'm sure he's been watching the trailers, going oh my god, this looks amazing! I can't wait to watch it. And I really hope that they at least showed him a rough cut of the movie before he passed away, because
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they knew about his condition for a while, about his dementia, for battling over the years of that condition. And then they were able to give him the access to the rough cut of the movie.
I mean, his toys. I mean, still the number one selling Mattel toy at Walmart. You go to Walmart, that's the T-Man. Mattel, before they got DC back, that was still that. They had nothing but Masters of the Universe figures. In fact, you can go to Walmart right now and pick up 20 Masters of the Universe figures. So, and I really, I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss. Look, his body. He may be gone, but his body of work will live on. And guess what? If you really want to, if any of you really want to pay tribute to him, go watch the movie at the beginning of June. Go watch Master Universe. Watch it 10, 20 times, okay? And then honor of him, because guess what? That's what he would want. He would want you to celebrate his work of art. If you can watch that movie in theaters, that would honestly make him probably the happiest. And watch the cartoon. Buy the cartoon. The cartoon. Watch it on.
I'm sure. Isn't it? I think it might be streaming on Prime Video right now for the complete series of He-Man.
Yeah, I think it's on sale. I think right now for $20 on Voodoo. So, but rest in peace.
You can definitely, if you want to find the original animated cartoon, you can find it on Prime Video and Tubi TV on Tubi.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you think about this whole the passing? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, the second one that we want to honor. We want to honor the Gerry Conway, Marvel Comics writer who created Punisher, Miss Marvel, and more. He passed away at the age of 73. Gerry Conway, a writer for Marvel Comics who created the Punisher, Miss Marvel, and other famous characters, has died. Marvel announced Monday he was 73. Gerry Conway was a gifted writer. He was thoughtful, deeply attuned to the emotional and moral code of storytelling, and a wonderful, articulate advocate for comics and creators. His writing has inspired all of us at Marvel and will continue to inspire a generation of writers, readers, and fans to come, said Dan Buckley, president of Marvel Comics and franchise, in a statement. Born in Brooklyn, in New York, on September 10th, 1952, Conway began publishing comics at 16 and started writing full superhero stories for Marvel in 1971. He brought horror elements to Marvel and created Man-Thing, Werewolf by Night, and Marvel's own take on Dracula. Marvel Studios debuted it as its own black and white Halloween-inspired Werewolf by Night special starring Gael Garcia Bernal and a CGI Man-Thing. Gerry Conway brought real stakes to his writing, able to weave together sensational superheroics with the human and relatable, and in doing so, created some of the most memorable stories and characters of all time, said Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige. His writing has been hugely impactful across our comics, but has also inspired so much of what we've done on screen, from Werewolf by Night to Daredevil to Spider-Man and Punisher. Gerry was a wonderful collaborator and friend to so many, and will be dearly missed. Conway was responsible for one of Spider-Man's most tragic tales, the death of Gwen Stacy. The infamous storyline was used in Sony's The Amazing Spider-Man 2, starring Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. Conway also created a mad inventor, the Jackal, and the clone Ben Reilly, who have appeared in many Spidey comics throughout the years. Plus, Carol Danvers, aka Miss Marvel, she later took on the name Captain Marvel and was brought to life by Brie Larson in the MCU. From Spider-Man to the Avengers, Iron Man to Captain Marvel, Gary Conway was definitely written almost every character in the Marvel universe, said Marvel Comics editor-in-chief C.B. Komolsky. He thrilled us with new characters like the Punisher and broke our hearts in emotional tales like the night Gwen Stacy died, a story that affects Spider-Man to this day. Gary Conway's legacy has made an undeniable and undeniable impact on the superhero stories we know and love, and he will dearly be missed. Yeah, this was something I was not aware of this guy, the Gary Conway.
I was aware of him. I know
mean,
him.
knowing that he was responsible for a lot of the creation, like Punisher, and did the comic book run of Dracula, which that was the character that Blade made his first appearance in that comic book, and he was responsible for creating the storyline of the death of Gwen Stacy in the comic book run. And I was like, wow, he's impacted a lot, and he was collaborating with other Marvel comic book editors, and also collaborating with Kevin Feige when they were doing like MCU content, like for instance, Werewolf by Night, which I really love, the Werewolf by Night, that Marvel special they did a few years ago. And seeing that the tragedy of the death was very heartbreaking, especially at the age of 73. But he will dearly be missed. But anyway, what did you think about this news, Ryan?
I think what hits even harder is that we're getting Punisher One Last Kill later on this year. So, I mean, what a strangely appropriate title that one is. But yeah, rest in peace, Gary Conway. Sadly missed.
Yeah. Jake, what did you think?
Well, first off, yeah, one of my favorite characters is the Punisher. Like, I love the Punisher to death, okay? And I sort of have a love-hate relationship with this dude because he says some stuff that I disagreed with. Like, he's very anti-police, and he also was very critical about the cops wearing the Punisher symbol. And I kind of had an issue with, he would always say a lot of mean stuff about that. And that I understand why, because he doesn't believe that a cop should wear a Punisher symbol. But I'm like, it's no different to me than if a cop wears like a picture of Deadpool or a picture of like Wolverine or Spider-Man. I mean, it's not like, you know, if he said they went out and acted on these like a Punisher, that would be different, you know. And I understand that he just thought, okay, and his thought process was the Punisher is not a hero, a superhero. He's a vigilante who acts above the law when the law fails, and so he goes and takes the law into his own hands. I understand that, and Gary Conway was just, and like I understand he tried, like he was very much like trying to tell people that, and I have softened up over the years because, in which he did contribute to the Punisher storyline about the cops that wear the symbol, the skull, that we're currently seeing on the anti-task force vigilante. And
yeah, he's referring to Daredevil Born Again.
He Gary Conway worked on that in about, I think 2020. He worked on that storyline. You know, that like for people, which I like the storyline. I thought, like, honestly, that's how I say, if you have an issue with something in real life, do it in art. That's, I think, works better, you know, rather than just being like, okay, you're just an old man yelling at the sky, you know. And I feel like that's what he was sometimes. And I will say this, though, even though I had issues with him as a person, I think he created a body of work that I think is amazing. I think, honestly, Punisher will always go down as one of my favorite superheroes, because it just like how much of like he's basically like Batman, but you know, I mean, you know, if like, you know, Batman just didn't value any life, you know. And I thought he was a cool character, you know, like ever since I saw him, you know. And yeah, and when it really sucks though, what you did get to see, like the show, he got to see the Punisher show, and he got to see plenty of movies be made. Unlike Roger, who only got one movie out of Master Universe, Gary got to see pretty much everything. He got to see the MCU. He got to see the death of Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. He got to see several adaptations of the Punisher, including Daredevil Born, and he got to see his own storyline.
I'm pretty sure he got the chance to watch the Marvel presentation of One Last Kill.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Which and also, I don't even know if he saw the cut of Brand New Day, because that's the one appearance.
I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he did.
Which I said, at least I'm sure, and also the comic he created about the anti-Punisher task force that he created in 2020, that literally is like in Daredevil Born Again season 1 and 2, and I'm sure that he's like happy we got to see that. He's like, yeah. You know, because I mean, like your work of art that you created in the last like 5 years is on your. I mean, that's always amazes me when like people that create art like are superheroes, and then the next 2 years that superheroes on the big screen or on the small screen. That amazes me because usually it takes like you create this character in the 70s, and it's not until 2015 before you get the character on the big screen.
Yeah.
So it appreciates me now that the timetables kind of speed up, and it's like for instance, what Project Hail Mary, where you're like, oh, that book was created like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and now it's a movie, you know. And it's crazy that the timeline that we have like now, where it's like, oh, you write something 5 years, and then 5 years later, it's like a movie. And that's like crazy.
It takes them like a decade. It takes them nearly a decade to adapt some characters like this.
You know, it's crazy that now it's like it's quicker than usually it'd be 50 years before you write something.
Because most people are willing to see some fresh faces that they ain't never been adapted before in live action now in today's world. And also with Punisher, I only discovered the character Punisher when I played through the Spider-Man game. I think it was like back in like the 90s or something. I can't remember. I think that's when he made I think it was like 2000s. It had to be the early 2000s or something. And that's the only thing I know. But then I saw the movie Punisher with Thomas Jane. Not a fan of the movie, but I love the actor. I love Thomas Jane as Punisher, but I just did not love the movie. But then I became a more fan of Punisher when I watched Warzone with Ray Stevenson. That movie kicked a lot of ass, even though it's not a great movie, but it was still entertaining. And then when we got John Berthal's Punisher in Daredevil Season 2, his appearance, that to me, John Berthal was made for that character, 100%. He's the only one who truly embodied that character, who was an anti-hero, who's all about like executing criminals and taking the law into his own hands. He had a tragic backstory of his whole family getting murdered in front of him. He has a lot of PTSD of war and all that shit. He's really fucked in the head, and you really see that.
I'm currently showing my mother the Punisher series for the first time, and she's enjoying it. You know.
Did you show her did you show her the Daredevil show?
Yes, of course. Yeah, well, we started watching Daredevil. We watched Daredevil season 1, season 2. She really liked the Punisher in season 2, and then and then she watched, of course, Defenders, then season 3 of Daredevil. Then I showed her Born Again season 1. Now we're watching season 2 of Daredevil, and she's watching the Punisher the series, which she's really enjoying it. The only thing is that she's on the last episode where Billy Rosati, like literally sees the cop and then just stabs him in the throat, like the FBI throat. And she's like, she was not expecting that. I thought she was like really cool. But yeah, she's really enjoying it. I love the Punisher. I understand that for a year, for a while, like after the show ended, like the season 2 of the Punisher series ended, like Marvel didn't really want to talk about it because it was a sore subject. And then of course Gerry didn't help that Gerry Conway was like upset about his creations but then that's when he created the comic book, and I'm happy that Marvel like basically said, we're not going to discuss it. That comic book.
But also, he made that comic book Dracula, which Blade was in it, and Blade was not he was not like an A-lister character, and we probably would not get a Wesley Snipes Blade movie.
Which, yeah, I mean, that's true. And also, I mean, Werewolf by Night. I mean, who would thought Werewolf by Night would have got a thing, show?
I know. And I was like, wow, that was not on my radar. And when I watched that Marvel special, I actually loved it. It was actually fucking good.
So, I mean, I'm happy that, look, I mean, like I said, I may have had issues with him as a human being, but I respect his body of work.
Okay. Well, if you want to pay a good tribute, watch a lot of these variations of Punisher, honor his memory. The upcoming Marvel special of Punisher One Last Kill is going to be coming out a week after the season 2 finale of Daredevil Born Again, and Punisher will be making an appearance in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So go out, give that support, and honor him. And we're so sad that he had to be gone. It sucks, but hey, it is what it is. We can't do anything about it. But anyway, what did you think about this whole? What did you think about this whole news? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, that will do it for today for the topic of this, for the movie topics in the memorial. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us on this live stream. And I wanted to point out that I deeply apologize about that whole intro, that I fucked up that monologue because I heard echo on the other tab of my Google Chrome. It was a video playing during this live stream. It was echoing, so that's why I screwed it up. But I'll try to do better next time when I host next time. And I wanted to point out to Ryan and Jake that I deeply apologize if I came at you hard about that whole Rush Hour topic. I apologize for that.
I actually like that we were arguing.
I feel bad now. I just feel bad for doing that. I came at him hard.
I was like, all right, I'm
I
game.
felt like I was being an asshole.
I felt great about it. I felt great, actually.
Like, I just wanted to point that out because I was like, oh god, I feel like such a dick for doing that.
No, I was ready. I was like, let's go. Like,
yeah.
I was,
But anyway,
clip that
oh
out.
no,
Hey, when you don't cut the fight.
no,
out.
I'm not gonna clip
Cut
that
the whole
out.
Rush Hour
No.
topic out.
No, I just felt bad doing that. I felt bad for coming at you guys hard. I was like, oh god, now I'm gonna feel like
Let
such
me
a
tell you
dick.
something. Like, it
Like,
was like this. You know what? It was like this.
Coming up on So You Think You Can Live with Brian.
Or this.
Hang on a second, I'm getting another call.
Hi, you're a loser. Please hold.
But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. I deeply appreciate it. I can't wait for next week. We're supposed to get another guest next week, but we won't say who. We'll let you know ahead of time. But anyway, Brian, where can people find you online? What other videos you got coming up?
Did you say Brian? You just said
No, I said Ryan. No, I said Ryan.
You said Brian.
No, I said Ryan. Anyway, what do you got coming up on your channel, bro?
So, like these guys alluded to, I will be out of town for the first couple weeks in May, but this show will continue on without me. They've already got plans for that. My personal channel, I'm going to have a special series all ready to go and lined up, so be on the lookout for that. I won't say what it is now, but it's going to be related to a big movie coming in December. That's all.
Anyway, but also I want to point out to Ryan, like, he is the reason why we're all here, because he approached me on DM years ago to do this whole Smallville podcast and retrospective. And if it weren't for him, I would not have met Jake, and us being together for so long covering that show, we would not have come up with the idea with doing this whole YouTube channel for Small Zero. So he is part of it. And I'm so glad that he is a part of it and that we're doing this together. Like, we cannot do this without him.
And we're not like, and for people that wonder, we're not cutting him out. We told him if there's a big story, we're going to get him to at least call into the show. We're not just going to say, oh, fuck him or nothing like that.
No, I mean, once he's on vacation, and we're still going to have guests on our show to have fill in for us, but we're probably might phone him in for his opinion on this.
And we talked about it, like, should we pause the show for you? And he was like, no, the show should go on, it's, because the news is going to not going to stop, the news will not stop, and there might be big news. And so
it's not like I'm going away forever. It's literally just 2 weeks.
Yeah. Which, you know what, if he dies on vacation, though, we will have we'll make it the Ryan Cam Zero channel.
We will honor his name.
Yeah. It would be like this, a picture just like this, right.
Anyway, then going to be a bit of a supersized 1996 project episode this week, and so that's what I got.
Jake, what do you got coming up on your channel?
Well, I think are we doing Smallville tomorrow night? That's what.
No. You mean talking Gotham, not Smallville.
I mean Gotham. Are we do that tomorrow night?
Smallville's over, dude. Let it go.
Smallville will never be over.
Let it go. It's been over for a year.
Tomorrow,
it's still out there somewhere.
Collins, I guess since I'm your calendar now, tomorrow you're getting a camera shoved up somewhere private. And
no, I actually had to reschedule that because the doctor's away.
Oh, well, in that case, I guess we will be doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, I said literally no. I was gonna get a colonoscopy tomorrow, but they said no. They said that I don't have to anymore because they rescheduled me. So I'm like, oh fuck, right? Thanks. I go get blood work yesterday. Yeah, literally they fucking printed me right here. Well, let's see. Yeah, they fucking printed me right here just so I can get blood work done.
Ouch.
Damn.
So couldn't find my veins. So I was like, I was like, wow, what the hell? But I'm free. Are we doing that? Yeah, Thursday. I was just wondering Thursday or Friday.
So Talking Gotham will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have you watched any episode this week, Ryan? I'm just curious.
I've watched one.
Okay, so me and Matt, we usually watch.
I usually watch it at least an hour before we go into it.
Yeah, Matt literally wasted the last.
I want to refresh my memory. I might forget about certain things because we're watching 3 goddamn episodes in a day.
8 p.m. East. Don't wait at 7 p.m. East to start watching. Wait until 5. Start at 5 p.m. East. That way they'll be done by 8 p.m. East. I don't understand why you wait till like 1 hour. Like there's
Because I had other shit going on. I had other stuff to do.
like I'm at work like this, like this on
like, dude, I had other stuff to do. I got a full schedule, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And what about us? We got work.
And also, like I edit videos too for this fucking channel too in my review. So I got a lot of multitask.
As long as he gets it, I mean, as long as he's good to go by 8, I don't care how he does it.
Yeah.
But I will say this though, my channel. I watched a couple of movies this week, and one I watched Apex, the new Apex movie on Netflix. I enjoyed it. Would I watch it in theaters? No, but I mean, it was a fun Netflix movie. And the second thing I watched besides Daredevil and The Boys, I watched finally Marty the Prick. I meant Marty Supreme. I'm thinking about reviewing Marty the Prick.
They need to rename that title, Marty the Prick.
I hated that fucking movie because it's every time in this movie he's an asshole.
I didn't hate the movie, but I hated the character. I hated the fucking character out of passion.
I made TJ laugh. I was texting him about that. I made TJ laugh so hard because I said he's a fucking prick. Everything he does in this movie. And Matt's like, well, at the end he learns. I'm like, no, or Ryan told me at the end he learns his lesson. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
Dude, I literally told you I fucking hated that character when I told you when I saw that movie.
He actually does, though.
No, he wins. He wins. That's the only reason. If he would have lost, he would still be an asshole. Because
he would still be a prick. He would still be a prick.
Symbolically. Like, he wins symbolically. He doesn't win anything tangible.
Yeah, he won his ego. He got his ego fluffed. He got his ego fluffed. So now he's like, all right, I'm gonna go now. All right, I've humiliated this man who fights with honor now. I'm going back to the US after I do all this shit. And then on top of that, he goes like the guy tells him, all right, hey, don't get in this bathtub. Okay, it's $4 to go in a good hotel room. I don't want to pay $4. Okay, it's $2.50. Okay, it's $2.50. Don't use the bathtub though, because it's on the fritz. Okay, what's the first thing does he do? He gets in the fucking bathtub, and then it crushes a man's hand and nearly kills his dog. And then the guy
that almost heartbroke me right for that moment. That dog better not die. That dog better not die. But let's just cut this short. We don't want to go on for a little too long. Yeah.
I hated that. It makes me. I just wanted to beat his ass. I want to beat. Literally gets his ass beat. But I mean, I wanted to literally was like, yes, that's what he deserves. But yeah, that's I'm thinking about reviewing that movie because it's just gonna be a rant for me for like 20 minutes about how much I hate this guy. But that's what I got coming up my channel.
All right, go and subscribe to each of their channels. Give them some love and support, and subscribe to our channel as well on Small Zero. We would really appreciate you guys supporting our channel. We will get a lot more guests along the way. There's gonna be a lot of surprise guests that we cannot wait. And also follow my YouTube channel at MattWyatt92. I recently put out a review of Ready or Not 2, and I put out a couple of trailer reactions to Coyote versus Acme and the DCU's Clayface. I'm probably planning on seeing Michael and the Devil Wears Prada 2 sometime this weekend. I'm not exactly sure when, but I will soon, and I will put up my review on my channel and keep an eye open for that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching our live stream. Let us know your thoughts about each of these segments in the comment section below. We hope you have a great day, great evening where you're from, and take care.
Sharpton for president, y'all. I'm outie.
Jesse Jackson for VP.